Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Clip's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Storm Collectibles Mortal Kombat Motaro. Today I'll be reviewing this figure in the following categories: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once those scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if this figure is a pass or a purchase. So when it comes to some of my Storm Collectibles videos, there are times that I don't know how the accessories go. And I get people in my comments saying, read the instructions. So let's take a look at something. You see that? You see this? There are no instructions in the box. If there were instructions, I assure you I would be reading the instructions. So for accessories, Motaro himself doesn't come with a lot. Usually for Storm, we see 3 head sculpts, normally a series of hands. So that's been muted down a little bit. But let's take a look at what we actually get. So we do get a alternative head sculpt, which I always like. And this time, Storm Collectibles actually has some expression. You can see this angry grill. You can see some lines and definitions in the cheek, carrying up to the nose, the brow. So I'm very happy to see that. This is also painted very well, but we'll talk more about the paint once we get to the design. So the figure has 3 pair of hands in total, 2 on the figure which are fisted. So you can see that the nails are painted pretty clean, though if you zoom in or look at it pretty close, I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to say that it's pretty clean. We'll talk more about that. Then you get his effect piece that, if I'm not mistaken, from the game, fires out of his tail. I really don't like how this looks. I mean, it is close to what you see in the game. I feel that it could have been done a little bit better, but at least we have something. And then the figure comes with a whole nother figure. We actually get one of the Golden Axe skeletons. For some reason, I thought the green version was coming with that. It could be with the bloody variant. So I'm very happy to have another skeleton, but I don't like this paint. I think when companies attempt to do blood, it just comes out looking cheap. And to me, this looks more like he was in a paint fight than actual blood. And then for the skeleton figure, we get 5 pair of hands. You have to like that. And last but not least, we do get a small base. This is no way going to support the figure. It is not for the figure. It's actually for the accessory piece, which I'm very happy that they have included. So for overall accessories, he comes with an entire another figure. We're going to give Motaro a 10 out of 10. So for articulation, this should be interesting. So the head is, wow. Okay, let's make sure it's all the way on. The head is able to look tremendously far up. I'm very happy with that. It's able to look down. I do feel like it's not all the way on, so it's able to look all the way down. It does rotate, and you get a good amount of pivot as well as back and forth. So with the arm, it's able to go up about that much, maybe a little bit further, but I don't want it to pop off. It is able to rotate a full 360. You do get an upper bicep cut. Elbows are double jointed, bending in about that much. The wrists are on a ball peg, as all should be, so you're able to get full range. So now moving to the torso, we get, is it the standard? Hard to say if this is the standard Storm Collectibles torso, but we do get a floating piece. With that floating piece, he's able to, whoa, crunch forward that much. Backward that much. Of course, you get gappage. He's able to rotate, pivot. Oh, just excellent range. Now you actually get more range using the bottom portion as well. He's just able to like almost bend fully over. That is so impressive. Bending back, he's able to break his own back. And then you do get rotation at the waist as well. So with the legs, they're able to go out this much. You do get rotation. They're able to kick nearly all the way forward. And then, yes, you do get rotation if I haven't mentioned that. Okay, let's see how the bend works. All right, so with the leg, it's barely able to move backwards. Oh, you too busy? But it's able to move forward a good amount. This is not including moving this part. This is just this portion of the leg. And then you do get rotation at the bottom. This part also kicks up that much. You also get added rotation here. It barely lifts up, comes down a good amount. And not that it's needed, no pivot. Moving to the back, the legs are able to kick out. They swing back and forth and have sort of like a butterfly effect, if you can see that. This portion of the leg is able to bend up some, not that much, but you also get movement here, which collapses in that much, extends that much, rotation at the bottom, able to go down that much, barely up any. And last but not least, the tail is articulated. There's a bendy wire. Hasbro, get your stuff together. And you can bend this incredibly well. So for articulation, I am perplexed. I am amazed. I cannot believe this figure moves this well. I was not expecting this at all. I was expecting severe limitations given what this character is. But my mind is completely blown. And to think I forgot a point of articulation, there's a butterfly joint. The arm collapses in that much and moves out that much. So for overall articulation, I can't believe it. I'm giving this figure a 10 out of 10. So for design, Storm Collectible did a phenomenal job, man. Just really starting out with the face. The eyes are painted white. I just really like the expression that you see in the face, and Storm Collectibles doesn't always capture that. The paint apps are exceptionally clean, and if you look at the figure, there's absolutely some shading. You can clearly see there's some lighter color hair. In the middle, it's dark, almost going from a yellowish going into an orange, and it just really looks good on this figure. All of the paint apps are clean. The black is where it needs to be. They even managed, let's just zoom in very quickly. They even managed to get black around the eye, which is also painted very clean. He also has some nipples here. I'm not sure if the other figures have nipples, though this may be the only shirtless figure that we have. And then the muscle definition is the way that it's supposed to be. This actually looks like the anatomy. This actually looks like the anatomy of a person. And you can see some vein work. The elbows are also very clean. And I like that they didn't skip out on paint. You can clearly see the shadowing in the back. And if you look at what I'm assuming is hair, now I would have loved if this was some sort of soft material, some fox fur. That would have been just over the top. And then you have some black and some silver. Now, this silver is decent. I would have liked if it was a bit more vibrant. Maybe that's my one takeaway from this. And I really like how the legs are done well. The muscular looks very good. And again, with the veins just coming all the way down throughout. And just looking at his hooves, they look like how hooves should look. Yeah, I'm just very happy with the design of this figure. It is just exceptionally clean. And this figure probably warrants a 10. So for overall design, just because I'm nitpicking, and I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. So is Motaro essential to your collection? I'm gonna say that he isn't. If I'm not mistaken, Motaro was first seen in Mortal Kombat 3, which means we had 2 well-established games before we even seen this character. Now, while I'm excited to have him as a action figure, if I didn't get this figure, I don't know if I feel that I would be missing something. Goro, for example, is a figure that we need. Shao Kahn is a figure that we need. And whenever they decide to do Shang Tsung, that is also a character that we absolutely need. So as far as being an essential character, I think Motaro is pretty low on that list. So as far as being essential to your collection, I'm going to give Motaro a 4 out of 10. So for functionality, let's start with the power effect piece. So you get a display stand. I have already input 3 of these. I'm not sure what to call them, but 3 of these things. Now you can continue to stack them higher as it comes with 6 in total. So I'm just going to add 4 just to give you an idea. And at the bottom, there's a hole. You simply insert like so, and then it gives you the illusion of this piece floating. So very happy that they included a stand for this. So now let's swap out the head and give you a look at the secondary head scope. Okay, and I like this head sculpt. I have some black right here. You know what? It could have came that way, or my son could have done it. I am not sure. Let's swap out the hands. So on him is 2-fisted, 2 open, and 2 gripping. Now, while these hands are on him, I want to see if this works. I think on the box there's an image of him holding this skull. Maybe. I think I can see how that might work. Let me play around with this. Okay, so it works. You can absolutely get him to hold the skeleton in his hand. Just to show you, the skeleton is floating. All right, so let's remove that. Now, something that I want to see if it works. And if he's able to do this, I might just give this a 10 for functionality. Okay, so I'm attempting to get him to stand on his front legs. It feels like it's possible, but I just can't get that sweet spot. So I just want to show some things that I did not show in the articulation department. The legs are able to kick all the way back, a tremendous amount. This is able to bend in, and that's able to close. So you really get some excellent range with these legs. And I mentioned with the tail, fully extendable all the way to the end. I think the bendy wire ends right about here, which is great. Now you can get him to sit on his hind legs, but a lot of the weight is going on the tail, so I'm unsure how fair that is. I want to see something with the front for a moment. So yeah, okay, went too far. When it comes to this figure, the engineering is simply incredible. Storm Collectibles did one hell of a job with this figure. So for overall functionality, I'm going to give this figure a 9 out of 10. So for pricing, Motaro comes in at $110. That's before taxes, that's before shipping. Mine shipped free, I'm going to say with taxes, roughly $11. So let's just say the price point of $120. So is Motaro worth the price of admission? So let's see first what he comes with. In terms of accessories, we don't get a lot as far as what Storm usually gives us. I had mentioned that we normally see about 3 head sculpts. This time we have 2. We sometimes see 4 to 5 pair of hands. This time we see 3, and we do see 1 effect piece that comes with a stand, which is still a nice spread. I'm just saying compared to what we see sometimes with other Storm collectible figures. But then we get a whole entire new figure, a skeleton which you can use to fudge into any of your Mortal Kombat displays or many other displays that you have. So we get a lot in terms of overall accessories. Accessories aside, just the sculpting and engineering of this figure alone makes this price more than reasonable, more than fair. So for overall pricing, I'm going to give Motaro a 10 out of 10. So now, is he a pass or a purchase? This figure is absolutely a purchase. Look. You can throw him into your Masters of the Universe lineup. You can throw him into your Mythical Legions, which I bought my first figure, and I will probably review that soon. Of course, he fits into your Mortal Kombat. And for anyone who's collecting the Diamond Select Lord of the Rings figures, I'm pretty sure you can use a Centaur. So it's so hard for me to say that $110 is a bargain. But when this figure first, I guess, went up for solicitation, I assumed that price point would be much higher, a minimum of $130. So to get this figure for $110 before taxes, and to get this guy as well that came in a 2-pack for $60. So you can say he's $30 by itself. Meaning if you want to accordingly price that, you can say that this is an $80 figure. All right, enough talking. Let's get some side-by-side comparisons. All right, so there goes Motaro. And we're going to throw him next to the Marvel Select Hulk, which will probably be in many videos to come. And you can see Motaro's a pretty large figure as Hulk. I'm assuming stands somewhere about 9 inches. And at this point, we're in March. These two figures are absolutely in my top 12 of the year. Absolutely. Yes, of course, I know it's early, but I'm just talking about this point. And just to do a quick side-by-side. All right, so let's get some other figures in here. Here he is next to Storm Collectibles Axe Battler. Here he is next to Storm Collectibles Goro. Here he is next to Storm Collectibles Shao Kahn. Here he is next to Storm Collectibles, excuse me, Reptile. Not sure these figures are not standing. And lastly, here he is next to the Storm Collectibles Dragon from Golden Axe. So thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's. Wow. So thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. I hope to see you during the next review.